future of trade relations between South Africa and the United States is under the spotlight tonight. Assistant U.S. Trade Representative for Africa, Florizelle Liser, and his counterpart for Agricultural Affairs and Commodity Policy, Sharon Bomer, have been speaking at an event hosted by the South African Institute of International Affairs. On the agenda was America's plans to improve trade with South Africa in the aftermath of a struggle over AGOA, the American Growth and Opportunity Act, which gives us preferential access to U.S. markets. But our inclusion was endangered for a while. Now, South Africa must ensure that chicken from the U.S. reaches its shores by the 15th of next month. If that doesn't happen, agricultural exports from South Africa will be barred from entering the U.S. duty-free. So basically, our AGOA inclusion will be suspended. Those are the terms of the U.S. The Department of Trade and Industry says it's working with local importers and American authorities and poultry exporters to ensure that the first shipment of U.S. poultry into the country does reach our shores by that deadline. Well, let's go to this event now. We're joined by Mbongeni Muthwa, the SABC's Mbongeni. Tell us what's been happening, Mbongeni.
Well, Francis, we've got two U.S. government trade representatives. They have flown into the country primarily to address people here at this event regarding AGOA and so on. And basically what they've said is that they are optimistic that, things are on track for South Africa to meet that March 15 deadline to make sure that U.S. poultry is on our shelves by then. And now what they're saying, which seems to be the message that they've come here to hammer home, is that America is interested in concluding or in entering negotiations for a free trade agreement with South Africa so that when AGOA, the current AGOA, which expires in 2025, when that time comes, there won't be a vacuum. Should AGOA as a whole not be renewed by the U.S., there should be a long-term kind of permanent trade arrangement, which, as they wish, should be a free trade agreement. There have been concerns, not just here in South Africa, but in other parts of the world, with American free trade agreements, or what the kind of free trade agreements that America wants to enter with various countries of the world. People have been saying that America wants to structure those agreements so that they are skewed in favor of the U.S. But whether South Africa actually takes this offer and starts negotiations for a free trade agreement remains to be seen. With regards to the threat or, America using AGOA or the threat of expulsion or exclusion from AGOA to force South Africa on other issues, for instance, with regards to the Protection and Promotion of Investment Bill, the Expropriation Bill, and the Private Security Industry Bill. They have said, it's possible that in the future, if they are not happy with those legislation, that they could use AGOA, but they said they won't rush to use AGOA to beat South Africa over the head, not to pass those laws.
Mbongeni, very quickly, because we're running out of time, but what does this say about the relationship between the U.S. and South Africa? It sounds like quite a turnaround, talk of a free trade agreement now, when last year we were complaining at one point of being treated like a colony. Our president said that, and U.S. President Barack Obama effectively suspended us from AGOA, although it's moot if we meet the deadline. But what does this all say about that relationship that looked fractious at times?
Well, I think there's no denying that the relationship between South Africa and the U.S. currently is not, as amicable and smooth as people would wish. There are a bit of tensions, you can sense them, distrust and so on. But these officials have been very diplomatic to say that, all is good. They have got no ill intentions towards South Africa. They don't have an issue with South Africa having moved closer to China and BRICS and so on. They are saying that the trade and investment links between the two countries are very strong, and they just want to strengthen those and grow those. Very diplomatic and very positive. But it's when you dig deeper into the specific issues, the small issues, where you see that, in fact, things are not as smooth. Because, like, for instance, they are not ruling out. They have not ruled out, even after the March 15 deadline. You know, they have not ruled out, you know, using or issuing new ultimatums and so on and so on to make sure that everything goes their way.
All right. Thank you so much for that update, Mbongeni Muthwa. At least both sides are talking. We'll, of course, update any developments on AGOA, and now this mooted new free trade agreement possibly on the cards between South Africa and the US. That's it for now.